Hello folks, and welcome to yet another Jim Fusco video podcast. I'm taking time away from recording my latest album to bring you this because I'm actually working on something that I thought might be interesting to do a video podcast about, and that is developing a song. I'm working on one now. Of course, it's really late. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and that's because I took a 3-hour nap before, which is always great, from 7 to 10. And so now I'm wide awake, and it's 3:30 a.m., and I've got work in the morning. But that's the point. Work needs to be done, and what I'm working on right now is actually the title track to my upcoming album called Halfway There. And, when I came up with the idea for the name of the album, I really didn't think, okay, there's going to be a title track song, there's going to be, a theme running through it, and then when I came up with the idea of calling it Halfway There, I really realized that a lot of the songs on the album had to do with that type of theme, and the theme really is, if anybody's interested, is literally being halfway there. If it's if you feel like your contributions in life or your position, you're never like fully reaching what you're supposed to be, even though you're trying. And obviously a lot of people, I would say everybody feels that way at one time or another. And a lot of the songs that I wrote on here, shouldn't say a lot, maybe 3 or 4 of the songs that I wrote for the album, I wrote when I was in Italy, which is halfway across the world. And I remember when I was over there, I kept saying to my friend, Alberto, that I was with, I kept saying, we're halfway across the world, we're halfway home, whatever it might be, however depending on how you look at it. So eventually I was thinking of the album title, and when I had thought of it, I thought it was a really good one. And I was driving home one night from my parents' house, and I started to sing this tune in my head of using the words halfway there, and I came up with it. So now I've been writing the verse, because I've let it sit just with the chorus for a while, and I'm now moving on to verse territory. And so that's what I usually do. I let it stew in there for a while and then see if something comes out, and it did tonight. So I figured it'd be a good time to turn on the camera and see what happens. But so this is what I have so far. This is the chorus to the song. Halfway there, halfway there, halfway there, I'll always be halfway there. Whoa, halfway there, halfway there, halfway there, I'll always be halfway there. Whoa. So I think it's a really good one, and I think it's catchy, and it's got really easy chords. And see, one of the reasons why I wanted to record this video tonight is because I'm getting into this phase where I'm kind of shunning the easier chords, and I don't really think that's right to do. Because, for instance, I came up with this tune in the car. There's no way that I knew what chords I was thinking about in my head. And so, when I came back to play it on guitar to figure out what the chords would be, they just happened to be G, D, E minor, and A. And even though a ton of songs use those chords in that same progression, I've never heard this tune before, so I'm sticking with it. And I guess that's kind of one of the problems I'm having with working on verses for songs, because I'm trying too hard to make them unique and to make them something different. And I'm coming up with a little more flares. I'm used to just kind of doing the verse, bridge, chorus type of thing with no breaks in between, type of, in a middle way or something like that. But it's always kind of standard. And I'm trying new things. Instead of always having a verse go the same way, repeat 4 times, have the third line of the verse change a little bit, and then go back to that same tune for the 4th time. And it's actually a little bit of a technique I picked up from my brother Mike's work. And so basically through all of this, I'm trying to wrestle with the idea that I don't have to be overly unique, but then again, I don't want to fall into the pitfalls of just old-fashioned Jim Fusco writing circa 2002. I'm working on the verse right now, and the verse, I have something, and I really like it. And it took me a little while because, again, you know, you're coming up with something, and I started to play, you know, D and C and E minor and G again, and I started thinking, oh, you know, this is falling into the same old thing again. And what I decided to do was to change one of the chords a little bit. So instead of just playing a normal D, I'm going to play a D suspended second with an F sharp bass. So instead of that, you get, which is a lot more interesting. And it really gives you a different starting point. Now I can play a different bass line, I can play a bunch of different things along with it. Harmonies change, things like that. So, that's what I had. Here's the chord progression I have now for the verse. The idea. And when I put the words to it, which I have to take a look at because I just wrote them 2 minutes ago. Alright, here we go. Everything about you, baby, just makes me want to stay. Then why do I have this feeling I've got to run away? I'm not completely satisfied, and I've learned that's okay. 'Cause everything about you, baby, has made me be that way. See, you gotta get into the chorus, but you get the idea. So let me figure out that last part. 'Cause everything about you, baby, has made me be that way. I like that. Has made me be that way. Halfway there, halfway there, halfway there. I'll always be halfway there. Good stuff. Okay, so moving right along, I've got the verse and I've got the chorus. I'm pretty happy about that. It'll probably take me 3 weeks just to write the rest of the verses because I always wait. I kind of have this problem where I say everything I need to say in the first verse. And that's why I have lyricists like Chris Moore help me out. You know, because it's just like when I was in high school or college or something like that, and they had us write a 5-page paper about whatever. Well, I can say it in a page. Why do I need 5 pages for? So I'm still working with that. That's always going to be a struggle for me. I guess it's because I don't want to use up all my good ideas in just one song or something like that. But one more thing before I go for now is I wanted to tell you about the little flair I have for the end of the chorus. So after the chorus ends, so halfway there, I'll always be halfway there. Then it goes. And then back into the verse again. And it's just this little thing that, you know, doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, but it's just something to break up the monotony of the verse, chorus, you know? And so when I throw that in there, I can do a lot of stuff with it. I can do a bass flare, or I can do a drum fill, or something like that, and I think it's going to be really interesting. So make sure to check out. I'm going to keep coming back with more updates on the recording of Halfway There, hopefully out in a couple months.